Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me. This is actually our first spotlight of 0.15, and I think it's something quite appropriate with the update, and probably something a lot of people have wanted to even be in the base game. So today we're going over the Nuclear Locomotives mod. And essentially what this does is this adds a new locomotive, and within that locomotive, the ability to use nuclear fuel to actually run it. Right, so this is something that I myself have wondered about, and I've seen many people ask about, why can't we use the nuclear fuel cells in locomotives? So what this mod has done is add in these special nuclear locomotives, which use special fuel made from nuclear fuel cells, and I'll mention in a minute why it's separate fuel rather than just the fuel cells themselves. But these are quite a bit more expensive than the normal ones. You can see here, some electric engine, steel, advanced circuits compared to just these guys. So a little bit later into the game, but I would say probably worth it if you're looking long term, because these locomotives are twice as powerful as a normal one. They do weigh twice as much. So if you were to just race one of these versus one of these lower level guys, then the lower level one would win because or be about the same. But in terms of pulling heavy loads and stuff and longer trains, I'd imagine that the nuclear ones would be better. And on top of that, it also has a 25% increase to its top speed over this locomotive. Okay, so it can go faster, top speed compared to the normal one. So there's that. Now research, this is locked behind just nuclear power and rails, essentially. You can see here, once you unlock this, you can get this, and then this also requires rails. So essentially, once you get blue science, you can get these, which is pretty cool, and it unlocks the fuel in the locomotive. Okay, so now there's separate fuel, although it's extremely simple to craft. It's just nuclear vehicle fuel cell, which you just make from a uranium fuel cell. The reason that this is separate is because the game won't actually let you put a fuel cell into any building except a nuclear reactor, so the dev had to make a separate thing for it. But yeah, so it is just a 1-to-1 conversion, and you can see here the fuel value of this is 8 gigajoules compared to even rocket fuel, which is 225 megajoules. So you can see that this is way, and this is 25 megajoules, so on and so forth. This is way more powerful than rocket fuel. Okay, so essentially, I'm reading some of this off the mod portal page for this, which will be linked in the description. And I'm just trying... Okay, so vehicle fuel cells stack to 5. So if I just do this, you can see they stack to 5. Make it easier to avoid putting too many in a vehicle. And it says a stack of 5 allows over 9 hours of continuous operation. So essentially, if you stick a stack of 5 of these dudes in a locomotive, it should theoretically be able to run on that for 9 hours without having to refuel, or without it running out, rather. So that's pretty crazy. Now what I've done is I've just set this up, stuck some cargo wagons on, just a 1-2-1, and we're just going to go to the station out here just to kind of demonstrate. So I've put a fuel in here. We're going to hop in, and I'm just going to tell him to go, and we'll see what happens. So this isn't the longest rail, of course. You can see the acceleration is quite a bit slower. But his top speed would be higher. I don't think we'll actually get to the top speed due to the length of this, but even in this short distance, we would have hit 200 had we not had to slow down for the stop. So these guys are really good, and mostly the benefit, right, is what you would imagine, is that this fuel just lasts a huge amount of time, right? You load your locomotives up with this, you'll barely have to fuel them at all. And the last thing just to cover, the locomotive itself is, we already covered that, actually. So there you go. That's pretty much it, guys. And I'm reading through the page just to make sure I didn't miss anything else. But I believe that does it. Definitely check this out if you're interested. I might even use this myself because I really like the idea of being able to put the nuclear fuel into locomotives. So I'm not sure why they didn't just make it so you could do it with normal ones. Maybe it's just something within the game. Okay, yeah. So anyway, there you go, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you did enjoy and find this helpful, feel free to leave a like. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, check out the mod if you're interested. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.